Alright, niggas, I'm back and I'm high as shit. So, I'm writing this ahead of time because this opportunity arose. So I'm doing this. Hang on, let me my Discord out of the way. Alright, so um, I'm writing this program with the dude, and we're on Discord right now, and I'm just recording it to explain like how you would design a program. Alright, so don't mind if I'm talking to him, but alright. So basically this program is going to be used to connect to proxies and try and scan for them, and you know, you could be a proxy grabber and you could sell those proxies or something, or you could just like do research with it, you know. I mean, I wouldn't say go hacking the world with them, but so it's going to use multi-threaded scanning using P threads, which is POSIX threads, and POSIX threads will basically, you can do more than one thing at the same time, and the function for that's pthread create. I also plan on making POSIX threads tutorials. I'm basically going to make tutorials for everything I do in this video and more. So you gotta spawn the threads and call a function. It's gonna be thread worker. Alright, let me make that real quick. Also, you have to use a void pointer data type on the function, or pthreads won't take it. You also have to have void something here, it don't matter. It would really be a struct of data though, because to be able to pass in more than one variable, you would use a struct. Hang on. Alright, so after you spawn the threads, you would call this, and it thread worker handles the data. Crap. So, well, thread worker is going to handle the scanning of proxies, my bad. And it's also going to Alright, so thread worker is going to scan for proxies, and it's going to check them and make sure they're actual proxy devices. Because how we're going to do this, alright, is it's basically going to scan for it's going to scan for ports. Well, it's going to scan for IP addresses open on proxy ports, which 8080 and 80 are two of the most commonly used. There's a couple others, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. And alright, so it's going to scan for them on port 8080, alright. And I found this these notes right here. I was just, you know, looking for, you know, I was doing research on it and see how I'd have to do it. And you're basically going to need a socket, and you're going to have to connect and enter in all this stuff. It's I'm too high to think right now. Alright, so it's like, it's a socket, and you send data through it. It's like, I would say it's binary format. I think, I don't know, it might just be hex, but so first you send the version number, alright, and it'll respond with a null byte, which would be the null terminator, and it will be, well, it might just be a null. It's just null, like capital, actually, I think. You can compare it like that anyways. So then you type in field 2, which you either want to establish a stream connection or a port binding. I think you do port binding first and then stream connection. Or maybe stream connection and port binding. They're two different commands. And I think stream connection is actually, you connect to it with port binding, and the stream connection is like you sending data and the proxy like returning data, and it probably won't let you if you didn't do the port binding. I think port binding's for authentication. And then you'd enter in the port number. Well, it returns if it returns like basically which, but it returns stuff from the command. Hang on. Let me scroll down. So returns all of these. These are return codes. It is hex, by the way. I just realized that. Well, at least this is hex, but alright. So it returns that, and then you send in like all this. I'm too high to explain it. Alright, this is where I was gonna start, but I'm just gonna leave it because it has that link. I decided to do like this to make it look more C-like. So we're gonna scan for these IP addresses, alright, and we're gonna check them. It's gonna check if it's SOX 4 or SOX 5. Alright. After it checks them, it's gonna put them in a text file. Well, yeah, alright. It's gonna put them in a text file, and hang on real quick. I got caught mouth. Alright. So you would save all the IPs and the ports in a text file, and it's gonna scan this randomly. It's like gonna it's gonna go between like all of the default ports. I'm probably gonna put only like 3 of them in there, and we can go down here, and I'm basically done with this. I would make more sense to put. Alright, it'd make more sense to put this in here, but I gotta give it one of these comments real quick. Let me just fix all this. Alright. And that's basically all it's really gonna take. 2 functions. Well, there would be more, but in here you would create a new socket and stuff, and you'd create a new socket, see if you can connect on port 80 or port 8080, and if you can, basically what you would do is you would check it using the guidelines in the Wikipedia page, and then you would I just lost my train of thought. Check them. You check them sockets, dude. I don't know why I put them, but and put them in a text file. You know, you can't forget that. I don't know. Alright, so, well, that's basically all you have to do. I mean, there would be other things, like, you could make, well, you could either do it inside the thread, which would probably be more thread safe, or you could, like, make your own function to, like, maybe make a new client socket, alright, and have it, like, return the, socket file descriptor, or socket descriptor, whichever one you prefer to call it. And then, well, you could do it like that. You could do it, I mean, there's different ways you can do it. I'm gonna leave this out because I'm just going for a more direct approach. I'm not worrying about all that. I mean, there is something else I would put in here, and that's send TCP slack, and it's receive TCP slack, because you gotta make these two functions, and this would also be like, or no, it wouldn't. It would be first of all, you'd want the socket file descriptor, then you'd want not the buffer, the message, and then you need a variadic function, which you would use with VA start and a couple other ones, but I'm not going to go into all of that. And you'd also need another one for you'd need something for the variadic processor, basically. It's basically going to parse this, and you can send in, it's kind of like printf, you can send in variables and stuff. And, by the way, you're not in it, by the way. I did, when I was setting it up, I fixed it. You can talk. Your mic's not in it. Alright, can I do,
I told you to.
I know you did. Alright. This isn't what I meant. Sprintf. And we're just gonna put a C after that for custom. No. Yeah. We're gonna have to do that. Now, with this, you could either do it one of two ways. You could do a case, or no, not a case, a switch statement. Or if else. And, I'm not sure, but I think switch is actually the more standard way to do it for stuff like this, because there's like a lot of different things you gotta process. Like, you gotta process a character, a string, or an integer, which really you don't have to, but it'll make life a lot easier. Alright, this is about it, but I'm actually gonna fill these in just so y'all get a better feel for what I mean. Let me see. In, out. I think if you do it like that, it'll work better. What is this one? No. Wait, yes. No. Alright, here. What we're going to be doing is, we're going to VA start and before we send it to this, and we're going to send, basically the, VA list. It's a variable name that comes in, stdr. it should be easy to remember. VA args, sending arguments and stuff. So basically, you can declare it like a normal integer or something, like v args, and do that. And then here you would do, I think message comes first, and then v args. And that's about all I'm going to go into for today. I'm going to start coding it eventually. I'm just waiting on a couple more tutorials. I didn't mean to open that. Hang on just a second. I can't find the stop button. Ah, here it is.